Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Please let me know if the volume is okay. Things look alright this end, but I thought I would check with those in chat. Hello everybody and welcome to this very last minute impromptu stream here at Garblag Games. Okay, wow, there we go, volume good, excellent. Hey Rob. Hey Dennis, hey Cat, hey Synthaniac, and hey TK Kalia. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, it's me, it's Pete. Hello, I haven't been on a stream in quite a while. I have been very, very busy. It has been, oh yeah, you can see over here what I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight. And some other things, some stuff we're doing next year, and some streaming choices and all that kind of stuff going on. So lots of things to talk about. Been very busy with work, which annoyingly getting in the way of the real life that I wish to live, the constant role playing, talking about role playing and making role playing games. And obviously got that annoying family back there who need me every now and then to do daddy duties. But we've been building up to Christmas, so obviously work's been crazy. Home has been full on, lots of after hours parties and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a bit of a hectic time. So I've been wanting to get on and do a stream to talk about a few bits for the last few weeks, but I just haven't had a good time to do it. And the wife and I were going to sit down and watch Pluribus tonight, but she's a couple of episodes behind, so she's currently in the other room catching up, and I'm here chatting to you guys. So I thought that would be a handy little time to fit in maybe an hour long stream. So we'll see how we go. Egil, hey Egil, good to see you. Vincent, hello. Got my Nexus 6 t-shirt on today. They're very luminescent letters, so if it's distracting at the bottom of the screen, tell me and I can always scooch down a little bit. But obviously one of the things that's really been taking up a lot of my time is, bear with me, this is a very creaky chair, is this bad boy. Heroic Deeds, the role-playing game, the core game, which hopefully implies that I intend to do more stuff. Let me know if that creaking of the chair is really annoying. Hopefully not. I'll try and keep my butt still. Hey Millie. Cormac, hello. Dramatic chair noises. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was going for. So yes, I have finished-ish Heroic Deeds. It is finished all the way to a stage where it's all completely playable. So I have shared the PDF, which is now available. Oh, hang on, here we go. On DriveThruRPG. Little QR code there if you want to scan it. If you can, I'm not sure if you can. You might be watching this on your TV or on a monitor big enough where you can scan it with your phone. Who knows? But I got, this is actually out of date now, this physical copy. This I got made to go to Dragon Meet. So, what was it? End of November. That was the other thing I was busy with, preparing for Dragon Meet and getting all of my gear together so we could have as sort of full an experience of all the phases of the game. Heroic Deeds has 4 main phases of the game. You've got Journey, Exploration, Combat and Downtime, and I wanted to make sure that the players each got to try each of those parts, and that was very successful. We had a really good time, played 2 sessions, and some of my lovely patrons and supporters were there for some for both of them. You know who you are, Conan. And thank you to everyone who came to support me, because that was fantastic. it's always a bit daunting, especially when you go to a place like the XL, which is huge. And to be fair to them, it was their first time at the XL, so it was a little bit in disarray, and all of the GMs were kind of hanging out, not sure where to go, until finally there was a breakthrough and we all shuffled off to the right area and got into our rooms. I got there with so much time to spare, but I didn't get into the room until 10 to 9, I think, and we were starting at 9 o'clock. So I was a little bit worried, but then all the players didn't arrive till 20 past, so that was okay. I really sort of had half an hour to set up, and we had a great couple of sessions. We ran through all the phases, so that was fantastic. And yeah, I think everyone enjoyed it, so it was a success, I think. I had put it on Drive Through RPG at that stage, so it's available on there as a PDF. There is a QR code or a link in the video description below. Please go check it out. It's $19.99 on Drive Through RPG. So it is this. Oh, Kat, thank you very much. This book is very nice. Hang on, I'm gonna go to the other screen where, unfortunately, you're going to see all the mess in my office. It being Christmas, we've got the tree in the lounge and other things, including Lars's Lego collection and all manner of other crap has had to come into my office. So I apologise in advance of this. But I did want to just show you a little bit of the book here with the world mountain, and then the lovely formatting, if I do say so myself. I'm really pleased with the way that the book has come out. I've already tweaked a few things, changed some stuff. So between this version and the one that is, I'm just trying to get to a fun, interesting page with some nice visuals on it. You can see here some nice stuff going on. So lots of fun, and already a really nice feeling book. The pages feel good. I've got loads of tables in there as well, so you can do all kinds of stuff. Journey tables for the GMs. There's a running the game section in there. So it looks great. To be honest, it's not going to be a book that lasts 10 years, but it will last you for a good long while at the table, and it's got everything you need in it. So it's got all the stuff for characters. It's got the map for the region that you start off in, adventuring out from Emberwatch. Currently there are 2 full adventure locations in there. I'm just finishing off the 3rd one now. That will be updated in the PDF soon. And then I will be finishing the 4th adventure location, and then that will be the book complete. I've made most of the other edits and changes that I think I need to. I'm going to give it another final pass, and in the new year, then all physical backers will get their books. One way or another. We will get there, don't worry. As you can tell, it's been a long process, but we are nearly there. And yes, it is glorious, and there are lots of people I want to thank. All their names are in the book. There's a bunch of people who have helped, and then there are playtesting and inspiration from lots of people in our community. So thank you very much. It's been quite an experience doing a whole role-playing game on my own. Pretty much. I've had help from people and advice and comments, and some of which I've gone, that's not a bad idea, and some of which I've gone, no, that goes against what I'm trying to do, so I'm not gonna, thank you for your advice, but that's okay. And I think I've got to something that I'm genuinely really proud of. It's not perfect. It's not for everyone, as I say in my little welcome adventurer. I know it's not for everyone, and I'm happy with that. It's designed to create a particular dungeon delving experience. Streamlined hex crawling, dungeon delving, getting your cool treasures, going back to town, resting up and going on another adventure. Levels 1 to 6 will be like that, and you kind of get to 7th level, and then 7 to 12 will be a questing play pattern. So the game will actually change. All the stats, all the mechanics, all those things will remain the same, but the way your adventures are created and the way you go on your about your business will be different. You'll have probably an entourage which you start to build in Heroic Deeds, but which you'll need to expand upon when you go into quest mode later on. But that's a bit down the line, and that's one of the reasons I call this the core game. I think there's loads of stuff in here for people to get adventuring, but there's loads more that I want to do. I've already built a little Miro board where I've got thoughts going on, and a Trello to manage all my next steps. I want to write solo rules for it because I think it could work really well as a solo game. I also want to write mega game rules for it because I think it could work really good as a. And one of the things I want to try out next year is lots of people playing with multiple GMs on the Discord in a special space. They're all going out from the same town. They're all going out to do adventure locations. They're all coming back, and I think that could be really cool. And I'm talking to Millie about UKGE and things that could be like a prototype, or an exploration of that. The format, I think, because it's got those strong procedures that are kind of backed up by narrative embellishment. I think that would lend heavily to a large format game. I'm currently busy on another Discord server trying to get them to choose my game as their next mega game, but we'll see if that happens. Yes, Cormac, yes, love support for solo play, obviously. I don't think it would take a lot to, and I think I wrote a Patreon post on this actually, which was around most of the systems are okay. Combat is the one that I want to have a little think about, but I think it's the party. Hey Aaron, thanks for joining. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and to you and your family and your best bud. Let's hope 2026 is a good one. There's going to be something we're doing all year next year as well that I'm going to talk about. That hopefully will keep us going throughout the year, little bits at a time, every day. Anyway, hey Lord Zordran. I have to put that in a game. It sounds like the big bad evil guy in some sort of adventure. So yeah, I think a solo game could work, and the main element for me is the party, because the emphasis in Heroic Deeds is that you are a party of heroes. I want to kind of replicate that, but I don't want a solo player to have to manage 5 Heroic Deeds characters, because with all the deeds that would be crazy. You'd be sort of, oh, this person's done that and this person's done that, and there's not all the meta currencies and all these other things that some games have, but I think just the deed element would make it unwieldy to run 5 full heroes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sort of henchman versions of each hero archetype, who you will be able to recruit to go on an adventure with you. They will be slightly better than the retainers in the book, but they won't be a full hero. I think they may have one deed that they're trying to achieve that will power them up. We'll see how that goes. That would be the big difference for solo play. I think everything else is pretty procedural, and with the where are we? Let's go down. I'm sorry, apologies on the screen for whizzing down so fast, but one of the things that we have in here, which is designed to help new GMs get to grips with running adventures in Heroic Deeds. Look at this, all these treasures, magic items. Look at these randomly generated magic items. Beautiful, beautiful artwork by Dean Spencer as well. Artifacts that have deeds, so these magical items power up as you go. Yep, that's why it's called Heroic Deeds. The Shard of War, that's something from a game a long time ago that I've snuck into this game now. Vula's Glass. Let's keep going past the Wild Mountain section. That's all the setting. Nice map using Incarnate. Locations. So adventure locations. The cool thing about adventure locations is, and this is spoiler territory, oh my god, is the adventure location exploration play sheet. So this gives you all the things you need to run the site. It doesn't give you all the fluff. The fluff is up here. There's all a load of stuff about the rooms and what's going on, you know, the environment, how should I express what it looks like, and then what are these specific rooms about with their own little particular foibles. Eat the fungus and you might drool excessive green saliva for the rest of the day. That's fun. Monsters that are specific to this adventure location in there, next to all the rules for it as well. Not in the bestiary. They're kind of adapted versions of the creatures in the bestiary, specific for this location. But in here it shows you danger rating. All sites start at 1. Every time you add a rumour to a site, it gets a higher danger rating. Rumours add cool things, dangerous things, artifacts, magic items. There might be an armory in there, so when you find that armory, you find like a bunch of military weapons, that kind of thing. So every time you go back to town, you add a rumour to an adventure location. So these locations are constantly getting more and more. And that represents the people in the outpost finding out more information from their scouts, from ancient books, from magical means about the world around Emberwatch, which is kind of unknown, right? So as you're going out and coming back, more things are being discovered by the people back at Emberwatch. And then if you add rumours to a location, you can write them in the little rumour box down here, and you can see what danger rating you get up to 6. And then the danger rating informs how many hazards, obstacles and encounters the GM can throw at you in any delve. So obviously if you go in and you run through and you run out of vitality and wounds and you want to leave, you can retreat. But when you come back, that danger setting resets. You've got a turn tracker, so it tells you what to throw at the players each turn. You can ignore these things and run it your own way if you want to. But I wanted this game to be playable out of the book, so a GM who didn't know anything could at least have a bloody good go at running this adventure. Now I've updated the treasure tables after discussion with some of the patrons and those who have read the book, so thank you for the feedback there. I've bracketed it by danger rating. And then in each of these as well, you've got a basic hazard. So there's loads of hazards in the book, but this gives you an extra one, a basic obstacle, deeds that happen only in this location, random events and preset encounters. And I think this 2-pager would help a solo player procedurally play through an adventure location, which otherwise could be a bit of quite an open-ended thing and difficult to solo play. So anyway, that's my push on solo play. Here we go. Let's go back to the beginning. Get that nice picture back up there. So yeah, Heroic Deeds has been taking up a lot of my time. It will take up more of my time in the new year. It's not the only thing I want to work on, but obviously it's my game, so I'm trying to push it. I'm going to, in the new year, do some ads. Hopefully get some more people pointed at the game. If anyone knows anyone who wants to review things or shout about things, please point them in our direction. And if you're just watching this back later, come and join our Discord and just ask some questions about it. Most of the team know about it or have played it in one incarnation or another. So there's plenty of information out there on the game. Cool. Okay. So Heroic Deeds. That's one of the big things I wanted to talk about. It's so nice having this book in my hand. I can say, look, this is my game. And it goes on the shelf next to the Dungeons & Dragons Player's Handbook. Just to be like, yeah, equal measure, maybe not, but in my heart, in my mind, it is. And it's so nice to have done it before the end of the year. To be honest, to finish it, with all of the difficulties, health challenges I've had over the last couple of years. It was quite a battle at times with my job's pretty involved, and I do a lot of extra hours, and it's not a physical job, it's a cerebral job. So often my brain is drained, and squeezing creative juices out of it late at night or in between figuring out really complicated logistics problems, it can be tricky. And then on top of that, having neuropathic pains down the right side of my body 24/7 is not fun, but it makes it worth it even more. So it's pretty cool. Right, heroic deeds done. Next year, what I want to start doing is doing Monday daytime streams. Now, I don't work on a Monday. Part of all my recovery stuff is I have Mondays off, which is great. It's allowed me to write heroic deeds in a 5 times as much time as it should have taken. But it means that I can start to do some streams Mondays, probably lunchtimes, that sort of time. And in those streams, I'm going to start looking at PDFs of other games on the channel. Very much in this format here. And that's what this screen's made for, really, is to have me here, and then over there we'll have a game, and I'll go through it and I'll have a look at it and give people my first impressions on these games. Or it might be a game I've played a lot and I can give a slightly more informed opinion on what it feels like to run the game or to play the game, because those two things are very different. But they're probably not likely going. I'm probably not going to label them as reviews, because they won't be a full in-depth scripted conversation. It will just be a live stream chat. But I think something that I've been doing whilst making heroic deeds is obviously looking at lots of other games, thinking about how certain mechanics would make a player feel about that phase or stretch of the game, how it would make them feel about their character, and I think a different kind of appraisal of some of these mechanics and systems. So it's become a lot more interesting to me, and a lot of the videos I'm watching now on YouTube are less actual plays and more mechanics discussions, not necessarily reviews as much, but more sort of longer form videos where people talk about how they feel about a game, look at a game, read through it, talk about it, think about how it might present itself at the table, what the play pattern is, all those things. So yes, I felt that was something I wanted to explore and do myself, so I will be doing that in the new year. So we'll be having a Monday stream, and I'll be talking about a game. Maybe not every week talking about a game, but getting some games in there and chatting about them. Hopefully bring some more people into the channel who aren't necessarily into actual plays as much as other people. We will obviously still be having lots of actual plays. Hey, Alone in the Labyrinth. Good timing, good timing. You're involved in the next segment of this show, so hang around. I want to talk about some games, have a look at them. I'm going to try and sort of look at the top 10 or 20 PDF on DriveThruRPG, pick one of those that would be relevant or interesting. There's some people talking about basic role-playing game, because that had recently come up with I think it was a creature book on the PDF on DriveThruRPG. So I was joking with some of the people on the Discord for a game called Basic Role-Playing. It does have quite a complicated character sheet, so I'll be interested to delve into basic role-playing. But yeah, we'll see. Also, I will be talking about City 26. Now what I'm going to do is add in, just bear with me a second. Oh no. Oh yeah, let's add an image. So I should have done this bit beforehand, really. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Get to see the magic, the mystery. Here we go. Let's put this over here. City 26. Here we go. So, Alone in the Labyrinth, Joe. We have been chatting. It was his idea. I kind of made this infographic image, which looks like it's partially transparent. No, maybe that's just my image. And what I will do actually is, hang on, bear with me. Something else I should have prepared beforehand is link to his mega post. Here we go. Copy this, and then we whack this in here. Boom. There we go. Is that in there? Can you click on that? I don't know if it looks like you can actually click on it. Don't know if I did that right. Trying to. Just copy it out of the chat and stick it in your URL. This is our challenge for the year. So like we did Dungeon 23, and there was Hex 24 and whatever 25. We are going to do City 26, and this is a challenge for the year where you contribute something every day to your city. I've got my book. Hang on. Creaky chair. Getting rid of this chair for the next stream, I'll tell you that for nothing. I've got my nice new Leuchtturm, and you see I've already written, I've committed. I put the sticker on there and I called it City 26. So this book is going to be marking, and by hand, so I'm not typing it. You've got to write. It's pen and paper. I've already started by writing the rules in there, as you can see. And what we'll do is every week we'll create a ward, which is like a small section of a district. I've had a few people on Reddit ask me what a ward is. A small area of your city with a defining characteristic. And we'll create one ward per week, and at the end you'll have 52 wards and a good chunk, if not a whole city, right? Depending on how big an area you actually define. And you don't have to stick to all of these rules, but we do want more people to join us. We've already got a whole bunch of people come onto our Discord, link below, and got the RPG general role from role selection, and then found themselves at the doorstep of the City 26 channel. And we will be doing this. So on a Monday, you will, at the beginning of the week, you think about your ward, and on a Monday you'll come up with the principal feature of your ward, and you will say who lives or works here, are they rich or poor, what are the demographics, is there a dominant monument or building, what makes this, what ties this ward together, what's the thing, this is the ward, or there's a big monument in the middle of it and there's stalls set up around it or whatever, and you can define what that is. Then on a Tuesday, what happens in the ward. So this is a random encounter table. I've put a D12 random encounter table because D12s are the best dice. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to have 12 things on my table. I'm actually going to do a slightly bit of a curve. So I'm going to have 1 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 7, 8 to 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll have those numbers because I want some things to be more common than others in the ward. That's just my idea at the moment that I'm gonna go for. So what goes on during the day, does it change at night? And I've put a little stack of ideas or prompts for what kind of encounters you might have: civilian, social, mystery, combat, hazards, obstacles, treasures, creatures, who knows. Oh, that's a very Synthaniac. You have just asked a groundbreaking question, and I will get to it in a moment. Just don't let me forget. Wednesday, trappings and trade goods. What services and goods are available in the ward, legal or not? Is there a black market? Is there, is all above board? How does affluence and scarcity affect prices? So obviously, what can they get their hands on? Now, these don't need to be huge lists of things, right? This can just be a sentence, or some of them might be shorter than others for each ward, and it may be really important for you to go into the trappings and trade goods of the ward because it's the merchant, it's the market, that kind of thing, and then you can really go into that. And the others might be lighter, so it's not a rigid structure of, say, 4 sentences for each thing. It's like these are loose guidelines. Thursday, controlling faction. What faction controls this ward? Is it just one, or is there a conflict? Are the ward folk happy about this? What are their methods of control? Yeah. Cormac, any resemblance to the Dusk Vault map from Blades in the Dark is purely coincidental. I do own Blades in the Dark. I have bought it, and I'm aware of how cool and how good a system it is. But I've never played it, and I've never run it. I would love to have a game of Blades in the Dark, but not at the moment. Friday, rival faction. So if there is a conflict, right, who's your rival faction? Maybe there isn't a conflict. Maybe they don't know they have a rival. Who are they? What are they? How do they appear? Why do they oppose the status quo? What methods do they use? Saturday, plot hooks and quests. So maybe some of all those things have made you think, oh, cool, yeah, there could be this thing going on, or there could be that thing going on, or, or throw a curveball in, and someone from one of your previous wards is influenced by this ward, and that leads to a plot hook. Yeah. Sunday, I've put transportation. Sounds pretty dull, but how do people get around, right? A city is defined by moving between these spaces. You need access to areas for them to be, accessible by your players. Because my assumption is this is for a role-playing game. Now, not everybody in the challenge is doing it for a role-playing game. Some of them are doing it for their own purposes, or for writing a story set in the city, or just general world building. So whatever reason it may be. But I'm thinking about this from a very specific angle of, how would players get around? What is this city like? How are the streets set up? Are there vehicles? Are there animals? Are there services? Are there flying airships? Are there trains? Are there teleportation pods? How do people get around? So just an interesting bit there. And then down at the bottom we have put, please try no AI. Now, I know people might feel, this is a lot to do. I would argue if you're going to use AI to do it, then why are you going to enter? But anyway, I won't be harsh. But someone one day might just be like, I just want to get a random table done, and I'll get back on it, and they'll put in a random table that's AI generated. Please try not to. We don't really want AI in our role-playing experiences in Gartopia. And also Alone in the Labyrinth won't list you on their mega blog post if you use AI, so watch out. So just a few sentences a day can help you flesh out a city. It doesn't need to be masterful Machiavellian plotting or Shakespearean drama, just a steady bit of world building. That's what we're trying to do. And together in the City 26 channel on Gartopia, we are going to be just building out slowly, each of us a city. As you can probably imagine, I was thinking of 3 different things to do, but I am going to be building out sheer foot. So Oh, hang on. Actually got something written down for this. Here we go. Where are we? The shear. Because I want to create, obviously, you know me, this is going to turn into a product someday that I can sell to people. Yay, make this a career forever, right? So in my mind, the idea is that I will create a mothership science fantasy setting called In the Shadow of the Sheer. Yeah, and this came actually from a bit of Alone in the Labyrinth. Joe, help me out. What was that game we played? We played a little game where you it was kind of like Populous, a little hex map, and you kind of terraformed things and moved things around, and then you could build a city and build a people, and I can't remember what it was called. But Dawn of Worlds. There you go. Thank you very much. Dawn of Worlds. We played a bit of Dawn of Worlds, which was really good fun, and you could create an event, create a city, move terrain, do various things. And I built a city with a impossibly weird obelisk in the middle of it, which was an alien metallic edifice 1,728 meters high. The sheer splits the world in two wherever you stand. Its pure smooth surface is unbroken save for 12 clusters of bizarre iconography that have enticed those living at its foot to climb. So there's this huge sheer right up. It's impossibly tall for something that's just standing that way, and it's got stuff written on it at these 12 clumps all the way up. And when they deciphered the first one, it taught them how to do things. Right, so there's a little bit of 2001 Space Odyssey, blah blah blah, and this city is built up around it, and the people who live around it believe that if you are born literally as the rotating, obviously it's like a giant sundial, right? The rotating shadow of the sheer passes over you literally as you're born, then you are special. And all the players in the shadow of the sheer will have been born in the shadow of the sheer, just at different times and in different places. And therefore they've all been put together as if they're like a group of special people who can go out and do cool things. They're not really special. Just the people think they are, and it's kind of it's a thing, right? And there's this huge kind of sprawl that's got around a lake, and the ascenders live by the sheer. They're trying to build things up, literally up the side of it, to get higher and higher and see the things. You have the observers, who are a faction who've moved outwards, and one of the early learnings from the sheer itself was optics. So they are building telescopes and things from further away to try and regard the sheer further up, but that becomes challenging. You have to get further and further away. You have the settlers, who moved around the other side of the lake to get away. This whole thing is inside like a big crater kind of thing, right? And they are like, yeah, we've had enough of you guys. We just want to go and live. We're not worried about the giant thing. We've got houses and lives and families and people stuff. It's great. Let's just live. And then in between, you've got the Grond, who are like a semi-amphibious people who have these kind of nodules on their bodies, and they have kind of slight genetic control of their bodies. And some of the humans exhibit psionic abilities. So this kind of weird science fantasy setting, and within this huge crater there's also kind of weird archaeotech weird stuff going on. A place called Echo City, which is like these big crystalline domes which have been shattered by giant trees. They have blue bark and purple leaves that have grown out the top of them, and all kinds of weird stuff. So it's going to be a weird setting with loads of cool weird stuff, and I'm going to build it as we go and see what comes of it, and I'm really looking forward to it. And what hopefully the others will will be up for is me talking a little bit about maybe some of their cities that they're building and talking about on the stream. But I thought it'd be good just to kind of keep it alive in those streams as well. It will mean that I have to do it as well, because then I'll have to talk about it. And oh, here you go. Here's an example. Millie has just updated in the City 26. The stream has me thinking about making the fleet for my eternally in develop King Arthur in Space RPG, which would be awesome. I definitely think you should do that, Millie. That would be fantastic. And yeah, that's a really cool idea. That's very cool. Cool. City 26. That's what we're doing. If you want to join us, join the Discord. There's a link below. I've put various things around on Reddit and Blue Sky and Twitter and Facebook about it. So we've had a few people join already. There's a bunch of us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that we've got 10 to 15 people already interested, which will be quite good, and we'll all be sharing it online, so hopefully we'll get a few more. Now, the question posed earlier on was a very good one, because if I look at the calendar, the 1st of January is a Thursday. So, good question. And it's New Year's Day, when everyone's probably sort of hungover or not wanting to be too active. I think what we should do, and everyone can scream in the chat if they think this is the wrong way to go, but I think we should do all of the stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on that first day. It might mean that you're having a bit of a launch pad with a bit of content that you're pulling together to create several things. It still can just be 4 sentences, right? Or a little table, and a few sentences. It's not a huge load, but I think it'd be a good way to just kind of start things. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you'll have one of the awards done already. And then maybe, I don't know how many weeks it's going to work out to, but it should, maybe at the end we'll be able to cram a 53rd one in, But I think that would probably be better, because I think I'm going to sit down and start developing my first ward and have lots of ideas. Oh, Cormac, cheat and start early. Oh dear. Well, I mean, if you want to, as long as, we're all doing the world building, in 26, that I suppose would be fine. Just realised my light behind me isn't quite shining in the way that I want it to, but never mind. It's all fine. You can see my face pretty well. Cool. So that is City 26. The end's on a Thursday too, so things should vaguely, there you go, things should vaguely line up. Bit of squishing, yeah, it's always fun. Cool. Okay, that's good stuff. City 26. That is that. Oh, I forgot to, oh no, I'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end. Cool. What else? So, in the new year, I'm going to try and get a bit more organised with our streams as well. We have got our Delta Green on Mondays and our Warhammer Wednesdays. We've got various other members of the crew also offering to run games on the channel. Now, what we need to do is make sure we've got enough people to produce shows. Streaming them is a lot easier than recording and editing them and surfacing them later on, for obvious reasons, right? But we will facilitate both those things, because some people can't all stream, and if we don't have a producer but some people really want to run a game and have it as a show, then I'm more than happy to have people recording and we can put it on the channel later. What we will potentially have is people running on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. Now, this all sounds like it's getting a bit chock-a-block, so I want to try and just calm it down and make sure we got content going on throughout the year without sticking it all in January, if you know what I mean. which I think would be good. So, but lots more people are interested in running shows at the moment, which I'm really pleased about, because one of the downsides of having a great community is everyone goes off and starts playing games together, and then they don't want to come and play games with me. And I'm like, hey, this is the only time I get to roleplay was with you guys. So, think about that. Think about Pete. No. Saying that, I do have a face-to-face Daggerheart game that ran up to just before Dragon Meet, and I was running the Mechanolith setting, which obviously we did on the channel, so that was good, and they've really enjoyed that and had a lot of fun. And one of the other things I want to do alongside Heroic Deeds is to think about the World Mountain setting for Daggerheart, because I think that over time I could produce campaign frames in every layer of the World Mountain and eventually get to a world book, which I think would be pretty cool, with a load of adversaries and environments and encounter frames, my own little invention, to help people get to grips with the setting and the mood and the feel and all that good stuff. I really like Daggerheart. I really like the way it flows. For me, it's a really fun game. So I'm keen to explore where that might go. And obviously, Daggerheart is a bit of a bigger name than Heroic Deeds, so it might also draw some people to my work. You see, constantly thinking about that. I don't want to do like D&D 5th edition and sell out and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I do want to realise and be pragmatic that although I would love to just make my own stuff, that needs to get an audience. That's going to take a bit of time. And maybe going through the Daggerheart route, which I really enjoy and loved playing on the channel, and I love playing face-to-face, would be a really good way to do it. And I think the Mechanolith campaign frame was a lot of fun, was a bit different. The people I played with at the Darkfire Cafe in St Albans, not around the corner from me, but other end of town, they had a lot of fun. They really liked the setting. It was quite different from stuff they'd done before, so that was a plus for them, which was good. Which I'm always trying. You don't want things to be too different, but you want them to be different enough that there's a reason for doing your thing rather than the other thing. So I think that was a plus. So my Kobolds supplement on DriveThruRPG is nearly copper bestseller. I think just a couple more copies and it's a copper bestseller, which would be nice to put on the cover and shout about, which is cool. The Mechanolith setting campaign frames a bit behind it, but that's fine. I haven't been expecting a hell of a load of stuff out of that. I've just built those things to play it and use them, so they've been used and play tested, so they work. But at the same time, then gone, let's put it online and let's see if some other people are interested. So we'll see. Yeah. So I think exploring how the World Mountain could work with Daggerheart is something else I think would be good. And I think if I could as you've seen, I can make a book like this, right? This I invented a whole game for. That's why it took 2 years. If I was just writing about each layer of my World Mountain, creating characters, it's I think it's achievable. So Kat said, you started Heroic Deeds on Thursday some time ago. I remember it was being supposed to be a campaign, but only a couple of times. No, so we kicked off, we did a character creation session, I think. And then, unfortunately, I was overexcited. Let's put it that way. I was overexcited and getting ahead of myself, as I often do, and want to do all the things. and I said, "Oh, yeah, I've got a bit of time left in the year. Let's run Heroic Deeds. I'll create a whole different region set on the Sky Islands of Yaneth, and we'll do it there." And it was cool, and the guys were up for it, and it was all cool. But in the end, I was like, you know what? Actually, I can't manage this at the moment. My work, escalated, and then Dragon Meat became a real thing. And both sessions, originally I was only down for one session, and then someone dropped out, so they asked if I still wanted to do a second one. I was like, yes, okay, right. So it just didn't become a feasible thing, unfortunately. So I ended that one, and I removed the character creation session from the channel, I think. But we'll come back to it. It's not going anywhere, as you can see. We've got a whole bloody game with the book and everything. So we will come back to Heroic Deeds and run it on the channel. I'm going to be running it at conventions, right, and going around. People are like, "Oh, Shadow Dark came out of nowhere." No, it didn't. Kelsey ran that game at like 100 conventions before it became a super duper hit that it was. I think I've just jumped the gun and got a book made before I'm doing it the other way around, which is stupid, obviously. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Heroic Deeds. I've been following the Knights of Last Call, Derek Melinda on there, who has gone full time on his channel and does a series of first look videos which get quite a bit of attention, and he is friends with Rolf Combat, who are now publishing books with Professor DM. So I'm trying to make some connections with people who might talk to each other about, oh, I found this game called Heroic Deeds, which is quite cool. And someone kindly on the Knights of Last Call Discord bumped my game up to the top of the first look list. So I think there's one other game, Lands of Eam, and then my game to be first looked, and I'm worried it's going to get absolutely torn to pieces live on air, but I think he'll quite like it. Not that I want every review to be positive, but it'd be nice for the first video on YouTube about it that's not my own to be a positive one, right? So we'll see. I'm trying not to get too worried about what anyone says about it, but just trying to share it with enough people, and if they like it, they'll play it and talk to other people about it, and it will go from there. So you never know. In a few years' time, I might be like, oh, Heroic Deeds is actually a game now, because there are people playing it. Right now, it's a book in my house and a PDF that a few people have downloaded, which is fine, and it's a fantasy heartbreaker. And I wrote that in the first page of the book. I said, this is my fantasy heartbreaker. I've gone into it eyes wide open, but I couldn't get the idea out of my head, and I wanted to get it done. And I'm lucky enough to have people who supported me, helped me get here. So here it is. Game's done. Just last edits and completion, and then we'll have the books out. So it's been fantastic ride. Hopefully, it takes sometimes one good video can link you to other people. They come and find it. So if some more people buy it, if they run it as their mega game on their Discord, that would be amazing. It would change my prospects as a game designer. So you never know. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Cool. Anyway, how long have we been going? 56 minutes. Look at that. I could talk talk for an hour without thinking about it. That's good. Oh, also, I've come up with another game, which I'm considering calling either The Ladder, as in the corporate ladder, or JFDI, and hopefully, oh, that's cool. Yeah, JFDI, and hopefully it's just fucking do it. That's what everyone, at work, in our office environment, JFDI. Yeah, there you go. Rob got it. And it's a game So I've just literally the other day, it just kind of came into my head. I've got a load of blank cards that I thought, I've picked up a load of blank cards one time, and I thought, I could just make a silly card game that would be quite quick and easy, but it probably has to be a little bit more mainstream than Dungeons and Dragons, just to try out card game mechanics. And you know what, let's see if I can get it up on the screen. The idea is that you play the leader of a team, and you're trying to put a team together to complete a project. It doesn't really matter what the project is. The fact is you're doing a project, and you're not too worried about what the project is. You're worried about getting promoted, right? As is often the way with project managers. Sorry, let me just get this up. Where are we? Here we go. I was inspired by I don't know if anyone else has done the insight color grading thing at work. Hang on, let me go into studio mode for a second, and then add in this window, so that I can just here we go. Right, let me. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just messing about in studio mode, so you guys can't see all the other crud. I don't know why I'm going into this, but this is my game. This is my other thought for a game. Here we go. So, yeah, the team building thing, Rob. So you're like red, yellow, green, or blue. Red is power and determination. Yellow is coming together and enthusiasm. Green is caring and supporting, and blue is logic and clear-headedness. And everyone at work's like, oh, I'm a red blue and I'm a yellow green, and and all this kind of stuff. And I've done it, and I'm a yellow red, and I'm came up as an inspiring motivator, and I was like, oh, that's quite cool. And everyone goes, oh, I thought you'd be blue. You run a team of analysts. And I'm like, well, I'm analytical. I'm just not very blue. I like to come up with ideas. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I came up with a piss take version of the project world? Because I'm not a project manager, but I like to make fun of project managers. I love them all. They're wonderful people. But we get ourselves in all these loops, and there's so much lingo and so much to and fro and all this kind of weird stuff. And I thought it'd be quite cool if you're each trying to compete to win, to get the best customer satisfaction, to win product of the year, to get as much return on investment, or make things simpler for colleagues. And whoever gets the most of those acclaims gets promotion. Yeah, and you never know what you're actually making, right? You never know what the actual product is, and that's the kind of big meta joke. It doesn't matter what the project is, you're just trying to get promoted. And in your turn, you would have a play mat, which is down at the bottom. Have you seen the yellow? I'm an extreme yellow as well. A rare extreme yellow. So it's all about kind of enthusiasm, coming up with ideas, and being creative, not really following anything through or supporting anyone, or just like, yeah. Anyway, so you would go, oh, I'm a head of analytics, my character's blue, so you'd start off with some blue cards. The discipline leader is red blue, so we'd start off with a red and a blue card. And so on and so forth, and there'd be a whole load of play mats that you could use, and there'd be either a whole colour or two of the colours, right? And you're trying to put a team member in your team slots, and other players are trying to put setbacks in your setback slots. And you have to put someone in idea for, you probably can't see that actually. Oh, hello. You have to put someone in Oh, hello. That's too close. There you go. Someone in idea first, then priority, and then development, then trial, then rollout. It should be prioritization. But anyway. And when you draw your cards, they'll either have team members or setbacks, and you can play them. But it'll be things like... I started making a list of this. Where were we? Things like death by PowerPoint, development opportunity, analysis paralysis, cult of personality, rogue director, healthy tension. Have you used AI? Business lingo, and all these things to like set people back. And your team will be like underappreciated expert and foolhardy grad and all this kind of stuff. It will be jokey, but this was just a silly idea I came up with recently that I thought might be quite fun to explore at some point. So I like to get things on a visual thing on to like lay stuff out. It is a horror game, exactly. It's for all those people who have to deal with project managers. But the project managers would probably like it. Anyway, I will turn that one off. That's not as exciting as Heroic Deeds. That was a little afterthought. Anyway, what I really wanted to do, today, was just come on, show my face, say Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to everyone. Happy Hanukkah, festive season, all of those things. Saturnalia. It's been an interesting year for me. It's been challenging, it's been rewarding, it's been tough, and I know for a lot of people it's been difficult. I hope that 2026 is a better year for everyone who had a bad year and a better year for everyone who had a good year. Hopefully it'll be a great year. Next year I'm going to get my book out to the backers finally, so that'll be great. I'm going to start adding more to Heroic Deeds. I'm going to work on some Daggerheart stuff for World Mountain. I'm going to do City 26, which I'm really excited about, with my notebook already. And we're going to have some awesome streams on Garblag Games. One of the other things I want to do is try and get a bit more seasonal and make sure that we're ready for things like Halloween and stuff like that with appropriate games or streams or reviews. And on my Mondays, hopefully, if some of my crew have a Monday off and they want to come and chat to me about City 26 and look through a game and talk about Heroic Deeds for an hour or so, then they are most welcome to come and join me. So you may see those Monday streams being not just me, and hopefully there'll be loads of stuff for you guys to enjoy and share with us in the new year. Synthaniac, Merry Christmas. Yes, Egil, project management is existential horror. So I'm gonna leave it there tonight, but I will be back for more on Mondays. Now I know most people will probably say, "Oh, I work on a Monday, I can't do it." That's fine. It'll be on YouTube. You can watch it back later. Yeah. So please do go check out Heroic Deeds and my Daggerheart titles on Drive-Thru RPG. We've got Kobolds and we've got the Mechanolith campaign frame. I'm expanding on those as we go as well. So the Mechanolith campaign frame I'm already adding more to. So I'll be updating that PDF in the next month or so. And I just took $1 off the price of each of them. So good time to get them. So yeah, go check those out. Come join us on Gartopia if you haven't already and you're watching this back later. We've got City 26 going on. So if that sounds fun to you, even if you only do it for a couple of months and you just join along with us, then that would be fun anyway and worth doing. So think about coming and joining us. Cool. Right, well, I'm going to raise my glass to all of you, everyone in Gartopia, everyone in the crew. We didn't do a great Garblag game of the year this year, but we will be doing one next year. 2026 is going to be more organised from Garblag, and hopefully a really good year. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone, and I'll see you in 2026. Farewell.